how are we all? We are going to get on with the last race of the season for the MRC GT3 World Series. Just trying to make sure that my audio levels are correct, which I hope they are. Just my phone goes a bit odd, just to make sure. Here we go. So let's just see if I can hear myself. Yep. There we go. So it is all good. I just double check one more setting before we crack on. There we go. Right, so we are back. Here we go then. So let's just make sure the stream's okay before we keep it on anymore. There we go. Right, so we are off. So here we go. Last race of the season. The way that the championship is currently standing as we entered this race is that Roadrunner is leading the championship by 4 points over myself, Berserker Boy, in second, and then Gary, I believe, is in third, and Surfer is fourth. I think they're about 15 points behind. So unless something drastic happens, the championship itself really is just between Berserker and Roadrunner. And also there's points at stake, obviously, for pole position, and there's also points at stake for fastest lap, which looks like Berserker has done an absolute blinder, done the best he can. Basically, the result for Berserker to win the championship, he's going to need to finish, I believe, in front of Roadrunner, and at least by 2 places. So, for example, Berserker needs to finish first. If Roadrunner's second, it would be about a tie, but then it comes down to fastest laps. And maybe even come down to a tiebreaker. So to make sure, Berserker needs to think, if Berserker finished first, Roadrunner would have to be third for Berserker to win. So the ball is in Roadrunner's court at the moment. However, as you can see here, as we start this commentary, Berserker's got a pole position. So not only that, he's got a pole position with Roadrunner not even in the top 8 out of 11. So it's all starting to play into Berserker's hands. So Berserker is here on pole in the Mustang for the last race of the season. Oh, I need to stop doing the flicking so much. There we go. So Berserker's in first. Fast JMS is in the Datsun, is in second. Gary in the Subaru third. Surfer in the Mitzi in fourth. Welly Bob in the Lexus in fifth. Mickey Moo in the Ferrari in sixth. It's a great result for Mickey. He's been gradually bringing it round. He was, to be honest, a bit of a backmarker to start the season, but here we are at the end. He's now right in the middle of the pack, so he's obviously progressing very well. Blackie back here in the Corvette. Dinky in the other Mitzi here in 8th. Ricky Bobby in the Jag here in 9th. Shaggy, who unfortunately didn't get a chance to do any practice, was here in 10th. And Roadrunner, the championship leader, all the way back here in 11th. So it's a great start for Berserker, and speaking of starts, we shall get this show on the road for the last time this season at the Spa-Francorchamps. And a terrible start there from Fast JMS has just allowed Berserker to shoot off up Eau Rouge as the field streams through now. Berserker coming down the Kemmel Straight, the other cars falling in behind. But Fast JMS, after such a great qualifying, has now fallen all the way back to 7th place, with Gary in second. Oh, what happened there? Oh, Surfer in second, sorry. Gary's in third. As Welly Bob side by side, there's three cars piling into that corner. Oh, and Dinky goes a bit wide. There's a nice gaggle of drivers there. Oh, Dinky's got a little squirrely there again as well. Coming round now. The top of the hill. Let's go back up front though. But Berserker in the Mustangs shot off just like he did at Le Saf. Can you show me the tyres? No. Oh, I need to change another setting to show the tyres, don't I? So just Spare me a second. There we go. So here we go. Berserker on racing mediums out in front, bringing Surfer along for the ride with him in the Mitzi. Then it's Welly Bob's up to third. Gary's dropped back to fourth. Where did Welly Bob get past Gary? Where are we? Where's Welly Bob? Here we are on board with Kev. Coming up the top of the camel straight. Oh, nice inside move there. It rubs Gary a little bit. A little nudge there from Mark behind. Side by side with Gary. But yep, no, nice manoeuvre there from Kev. A little bit more aggression, which is what we want to see from Kev, because he's definitely got the pace. Brings him up to third. So we go back to here. So 1, 2, 3. So here we are, back down now to the bottom of the track. Ooh! Going through this little left-right S section. Berserker's always been caught hand over fist there from Surfer into that hard braking zone before the cars get to unleash the power. And as you can see, the Mustang yet again pulling away in fifth gear from the Mitzi, as it was last race as well. But all these cars have been nerfed one way or another from the last update, so it's a bit of an unknown now as to how these cars are going to be compared to the others. But it's good to see the Mustang still has the top end torque over the Mitzi. As here we come now into the end of that one. Berserker's in first, Surfer's in second. And then here comes the rest of the field. There's a big gap already between first and second. And I wish the camera would pan away. Oh, as Roadrunner gets it wrong at the last corner. Roadrunner got it very wrong at the last corner. It's dropped all the way back again to last place. Let's just see what happened there. So Roadrunner is on racing mediums. Let's go on board with Roadrunners. He's only gained one place so far. Coming into the final chicane. I don't know if it's called the bus stop chicane or not. Just gets too wide and gets on the AstroTurf. Very, very gingerly trying to go round. But here we go then. Back up again with Berserker. Coming past the old start finish. Up through Eau Rouge. Lovely, glorious shots there. Cresting the hill. Berserker's got a little bit more of a gap now between himself and Surfer. Just the way Berserker would have wanted this to pan out. Get out in front and get as much distance as he can between himself and Roadrunner. Surfer is bringing Surfer along for the ride as a tail gunner. But in the meantime, back here, looks like there's Mark's picked up a penalty going through Eau Rouge, and Kevin has just dropped back. Welly Bob's just dropped back to fifth. He's just got Gary up to third now. At the top of the hill, coming down. It's really tricky. Very slow, agonisingly slow, long right-hand corner. It loops back on itself. Oh, here we go, Fast JMS is now fighting with Kev. So Fast JMS and the Datsuns was starting to get back up through the field. Let's go on board with Fast JMS. You can see the Corvette in front of Mark, the Lexus behind, of Kevin behind, Welly Bob behind. Nice tidy line there from Duncan, coming around to the bottom corner, so it's not quite close. Oh, Gary's just gone a little bit wide. Oh dear, Gary's gone a bit wide, just allowed Mark to regain third spot, and here comes the Datsun of Duncan, just squeezes it up the inside here. Oh, goodness me, thankfully it's good job Mark. It's a good job Mark ghosted then, because Duncan nearly went right up into the back pipes of Blackie, and Blackie's kept on to fifth place though. This group of four coming into the final bus stop chicane. Oh, that looked like Dennis going a bit too hot into the corner, but manages to hold it. Mickey's dropped back to 8th. Shaggy's up to 9th. Ricky's back to 10th, and Ricky almost takes it into the wall. Whereas Roadrunner's still in 11th. In the meantime, here we go, Berserker Boy up through Eau Rouge. Oh, and he's just off the circuit. That's going to cost him. I think all four wheels are off then. Yep, there we go. There's the penalty. Berserker picks up a penalty. Really doesn't need that just yet, but you can see the map there at the top right. He's got Berserker and Surfer. We've already pulled out. Where are we? So there's Surfer just coming through the top of the hill, and there's Gary. Not too far behind. Oh, he's quite way behind, to be honest, compared to where we are in the race. But Fast JMS is fighting with Gary now to pick up third place. Oh, Gary's dropped a little bit wide. I hope there wasn't contact. There's a little bit of contact there. Side by side stuff though is okay. Racing is rubbing, as they say. Rubbing is racing, I should say. We're on board with Fast JMS. Trying to find his way past Gary. Looks like he's got the pace to get past him, to be honest. Coming into his own Duncan at the classic Spa. Oh, who was that? He took a big dive there. That was... Let's go on board with Dennis. Dived up the inside there. Where was that from? Dennis has marked. Got a little bit wide. Oh, Mark's got a bit squirrely. It's just held up these two. That's what it wasn't a dive. There goes Dennis straight past Welly, who's unfortunately got caught up from Mark there. Oh, Dennis left it a bit too late. He might have done as Mark cuts it back up the inside and is bringing Welly Bob with him. Puts Dennis back to 6th. He's going to be side by side here with Kevin. Welly Bob, there we go. Oh, Dennis turns in, gives Welly a little nudge. A bit squirrely as they're both trying to get the power down. What do you think, Alexis or Mitzi? Or Kevin backs out. So Kevin's dropped back down to 7th. Dennis up to 6th place. And Mickey Moo's coming along for the ride. Here comes the Ferrari. Got a bit of damage on the front, so he's obviously done something to someone. Oh no, it's not. Excuse me, Mickey, it wasn't damage. It was this transfers on your front bumper. Looked like a bit of scrubbing of the paintwork there. Unfortunately, you're lagging all over the place, otherwise I'd give you a little bit more airtime. It's not much fun to watch. So then, here we go. Lap. Oh, Surf has taken the lead over Berserker. Berserker obviously had that penalty to serve, so I'm pretty sure Surfer got Berserker at that point. Let's go on board with Berserker. He's got a lovely... Here we go, the 5th and 6th gears of the Mustang. Just simply eases us past the Mitsubishi of Surfer. Surfer's going to fight back, I'm sure. This Berserker's turning in. Oh, little nudge there from Surfer, but it's all good. It's all good. Everyone's still on track. Berserker's regained the lead just where he wants to be. He wants to put as much distance as he can between himself and Roadrunner to stand a chance of winning this championship. And so far it's all going according to plan for Berserker. As you can see, the sky is getting a bit greyer now. We have got weather on for this race. There's no sign of rain just yet. Oh, the Surfer looked like he nibbled the rear end of Berserker's Mustang then. But these two boys are class of their own at the moment. Way out in front over Gary. He's now in 3rd. Fast JMS has dropped off a little bit. Blackie, oh, it's gone very wide. Might get a penalty for that. I don't know about you chaps, but I find the noise that they've given the GT3 Corvette horrid. It doesn't sound like that at all. This sounds wrong in all sorts of ways. Anyway, so Black is now in 4th. Dennis is in 5th. Welly Bob's still got the machinations of... Oh, here we go. The windscreen wipers are on. As Blackie gets it wrong. What happened to Blackie there? Is that to do with the rain? He's on racing mediums. Yep, here we go. Racing mediums just lose... Oh, no, there's still a fair amount of grip. The rain begins to fall. Blackie's struggling to keep that car under control, but the rain's beginning to fall. Shaggy's picked up a half-second penalty. Ricky's in 10th. Oh, he's off as well at the same spot. So yeah, I guess the wet surface has just caught a few people out. And Roadrunner's still in 10th place. In the meantime, Surfer and Berserker out in front, even though it's starting to rain. But here we go. Gary's coming into the pits. Gary's third place. So is Fast Jimmy. So it looks like the boys are all coming in. Oh no, Dennis has stayed out. Everyone is coming into the pits. Tiny bit of rain, even though the track is still dry at this moment. As we follow Gary into the pits. So 4 drivers have stayed out. Oh, you can hear the rain now. You can hear it raining. So keep an eye down there at the bottom left of the screen. You've got the time, and then the gauge of that is the state of the track. As you can see, there's a tiny little bit of blue stating how wet the surface of the track is at the moment. And where are we on the lap? We're about halfway around the lap, and if that gauge gets up past the third, then those slick tyres that these boys are on will just start aquaplaning, and they won't have any grip whatsoever. But it's creeping up, it's creeping up. Let's see what happens. Still fair way to go, and we're nearly at that point. We're nearly at the point where these tyres might not hang on to the grip. It's very close now. These boys running a risk. Oh, there we go. We've hit the mark. We've hit the mark. Oh, there's a torrential downpour. Oh, Berserker. There we go. The Berserker's come off. Surfers. You can see the puddles of water. It's well over the quarter mark. Surfers come off. Berserkers managed to catch it quickly, but obviously these boys are now going very, very slow. Oh, Berserkers nearly. Oh no, power sliding round the corner. That's how you do it. Do it with style. The Surfers off as well. So the 2 boys up front really struggling for grip, really struggling to get the power down. Berserkers. Oh, look at that. The rain's thundering down now. It's also got into the wet category, and Berserkers still there out there on racing mediums. Dennis is on racing mediums as well. Whereabouts is he on the track? He still hasn't got into the final corner. Is he going to go straight on just like the other 2? Yep, you can see that. He's gone on there. Gary's the first. Oh, Gary's picked up a penalty. Well, Gary's picked up damage, I should say. Where's he got the damage from? Oh, that's where he's got the damage from. He's hit Shaggy. Shaggy's happening. Shaggy. Oh, goodness me. Let's go back. So, Shaggy really suffering. He's on the last of the boys to be out there on slicks. Drifted very wide. And he's got a long way to go back to the pits. Gingerly going around the outside. Oh, as soon as I said it, lights up the car. Oh, it spins terribly. He's got the damage to the rear end. Now I believe Gary's going to be coming around that corner sometime soon. Oh no, not quite yet. Shaggy's trying to recover. Gets reset onto the track. Where's Gary? Here we go. Gary's going to try and avoid, obviously. Shaggy, oh, spins it, and Gary punts him. Oh, disaster. Look how far he's punted him. Oh, disaster for Shaggy. Also a little bit of a disaster for Gary as well, who's done the right thing but has now picked up damage. So here's Gary, the first of the pitters on the wet tyres. Where's the boys up front? Berserker's still not quite got into the pits yet. Gingerly coming round now. Very gingerly coming round now. To try and get that Mustang on those tyres into the pits. Definitely wet weather weather tyres. The Surfer's cruising around as fast as he can. There's Dennis, he's still in third as Berserker's made it into bits, but here comes Gary. So let's go on board with Gary, who's got the wet. Oh, as Dennis gets it. Dennis. That was great crashing, Dennis. What the hell happened there? So how does Dennis get done? Did he just spin it up all by yourself? You can see Gary coming. Yeah, spins it up all by himself. Great moves there, Dennis. So he manages to damage nearly all of the side of his car. But so Berserker and Serpent finally made it into the pits, whereas Gary here is on the correct tyres for the moment anyway. Coming round gingerly through the last chicane. As we come up to the start-finish straight. Gets the power down. So, how much has that cost Berserker and Surfer? It was a gamble. It certainly was a gamble. Nearly paid off. They could have, if they got around that last corner and then up to the straights, they might have stood a chance. Here you go, Surfer and Berserker. Sorry, Fast JMS and Gary squabbling over first and second. Mickey moves in third. Oh no, goodness me, what's going on with the timings? Here we go. So, Gary's in first. Fast JMS is in second. Berserker's gone what? Oh, he's coming out the pits. That's where he is. So it's cost Berserker a good 20 seconds, that mistake. He's just still there or thereabouts, up in third place. Mickey Moo is now in fourth. Black is in fifth. Whaley Bob's in sixth. Surfer's just coming out the pits now. So where's Ricky? He's Ricky. Oh, still struggling in that Jag. And here comes Roadrunner in the Merc. Roadrunner was saying that since the update, the Merc has changed its handling characteristics, which is going to be even worse for him in this deluge of rain coming down. The track at the top of the hill is still not actually as preferable to intermediates. It's only when it gets into that final top third that it should be ideal for wet. So these boys will be struggling a little bit, not too much. On board here with Roadrunner, he's got up to 9th now. Remember, Roadrunner needs to be in front of Berserker with someone in between for him to guarantee. Oh no, sorry, he just needs to be in front of Berserker basically to win the championship. And at the moment, he's well off the pace back here in 9th place. Look at the map there at the top right. He's the last of the group as we go up to Fast JMS. Fast JMS has got the lead. Oh no, let's just go back. That was interesting because Roadrunner got it sideways. They're all struggling for grip now, these boys. Let's go back up to Fast JMS, who's in the lead in the Datsun. Where are we? Coming around to this fast left-hand corner. It would be fast. Berserker's caught back up to Gary. Looks like Gary's had a moment to allow Fast JMS up into first place. Oh, go back here. Look, we got Blackie and Mickey Moo. All the Ferraris getting a bit squirrely. Mickey having a great race, to be honest. With Blackie here in 5th place. Who's going to get the power down quickest between these two? Very tricky conditions now. Ferrari sounds so good compared to the awful sounding Corvette. Oh, Mark's gone very wide. Mickey Moo's kept it clean though. Oh no, Mark's held it together. Thought he'd lose a bit more time than that. So in the meantime, here we go. Fast JMS up through Eau Rouge in the lead. The windscreen wiper of that Datsun flapping with fury in this deluge of rain in the Belgian countryside. Coming up the Camel Straight to the top of the hill. Oh, Berserker's got past Gary, so Berserker's got back into first place. Sorry, second place. I mean. But what I've just noticed is that in that period before the rain came down, Berserker's also got the fastest lap time in. Which, if this rain continues to the end of the race, which apparently the weathermen say it will be close to, I mean, Berserker's picked up a point there for the fast. He's got a point already for the pole position. It looks like he might pick up another point there for the fastest lap as well. So he's definitely putting the pressure on Roadrunner. He's still back down in 8th place. Look at this weather. It's pouring it down now. Looks like majority of certainly the track at the bottom of the hill is the wettest area. These boys gingerly coming round this tricky S section. Oh, Berserker hits a bit of an inside puddle there. Keeping it together though. Gary's following close behind, not letting him get away. Go on board to Gary. This is the view you get. You can see Gary's windscreen wipers aren't working, which won't be helping. Well, you can see Berserker really struggling with the rear end of that Mustang to get the power down. Let's see what kind of speed they can get up to here. Down 130, nearly pushing up to 140 miles an hour in the wet. Berserker's put out a bit of a gap now between himself and Gary. Berserker's still got the hammer down, 140. Coming into the last bus stop chicane. Is he going to hold it to stop it in time? He is as well. But Berserker, maybe he's the Reagan Master, the Rain Master. He used to call Michael Schumacher. Seems to have a bit more speed through the fast sections in the Mustang in the wet. We're on board now with Fast JMS. So, 18, 19 minutes in. Third of the race gone. Fast JMS out in front still. Over Berserker Boy. Coming up through Eau Rouge. See how fast JMS can go in the wet. We're going 140, 150, tops at 150. So we'll see who can beat, if anyone can beat 150. But Berserker's just starting to reel in the Datsun a little bit. I'm sure the Duncan in that Nissan would prefer the GTR being the four-wheel drive variety at the moment. All GT3 cars are rear-wheel drive. Oh, Duncan's gone wide, I think. Yep, Berserker's caught right up. Here we go. Berserker's definitely catching now up to Duncan. Really tricky to see what's going on ahead. Berserker's right now in the mist of the car in front. Brakes a little bit earlier than Duncan's Fast JMS. But can he bring that Mustang round fighting for first place? Not just yet, so let's go through the field. So Berserker second, Gary's in third. Blackie's got past Mickey Moo's up into fourth place. Mickey Moo back into fifth. Welly Bob's in sixth. Surfer's back here in seventh. Trying to claw back the disadvantage. It wasn't an error. It was a gamble worth taking to stay out a bit longer. Roadrunner's now up to 8th place. Slowly getting places back. You can see at this part of the circuit, it's not totally drenched. It's still just about intermediate weather. There's Ricky. There's Ricky in 9th. Dinky, Dennis has fallen. Oh, he's on intermediates. Dennis has got the wrong tyres on. I know there's some of the track is most certainly just about intermediate strength, but there's a lot of it is now completely saturated, so they are the wrong tyres. Dennis, tactical error there from Dennis. Shaggy's on the right tyres, but he's way off the pace. So see the boys there after 21 minutes. The lights are on. They're still all thereabouts. All Berserker Boys gone terribly wide there at turn 1. Is that going to allow Gary to get... Oh, little nudge there from Berserker. Just allowed Gary to pick up second place again. So Berserker was fighting for first place. Is now back to third. Oh, Mickey Moo and Blackie also have a nice little tussle here. Let's go on board with Blackie. Coming up through Eau Rouge. Glorious sight serve. Rear view of Blackie coming up Eau Rouge. That's the view I wanted. So we've seen the Datsun get up to 140. What can the Corvette do? Sorry, 150. Can the Corvette get up to 150 on the straight here? Just about. So yeah, fairly evenly matched there. So while we're here, oh, Belly Bob's got it wrong. He's gone a bit too wide up there at the top of the hill. So while we leave it here, oh, he's got wrong again. just going to have a quick drinks break. Well, we'll just leave it here for a second. Okay, and we're back. So, middle section of the race. It's a little bit stationary as everyone's trying to get to grips with the conditions. Looks like Gary's closed back up to fast JMS. There we go. Nice scene there. As you can see, the Nissan pulling away from Gary. Getting a nice run around the back section of the track. Tricky little corner there. There we go. Coming up to the bus stop chicane. Is Gary going to close right back up under braking? Here we go. Gary. Oh, Gary had his wheels off the track there. I thought he might suffer. Coming into the final corner here. Let's go on board with Gary. Can he find a way? No, can't get the power down. I have to say, when I was racing against Gary and Fast MS, I was really impressed with how well Duncan was getting the power down out of the corners. I just couldn't keep up. In the meantime, Fast MS still out in front of the race. Coping with these conditions very well. He is Scottish, I believe. I think he's Scottish. Sorry, Duncan, if you're not. I thought you are. I thought you were. With a name like Duncan, I assumed you're a Scot, and you're used to the wet. And obviously, these conditions with his hazard lights on. Obviously, getting excited in that car, pressing the hazards for some reason. It's kind of like a slow ballet going on up here. Everyone's desperately trying to keep the car on track, but also find a way past the cars in front. Oh, it looks like Berserker's catching back up. So that group in front, a little bit off just yet. Let's go aboard with Gary. In a way, those flashing lights is going to help Gary spot fast JMS in the mist in front. It's actually probably be a bit helpful for Gary. Can he find a way past? Oh, Duncan's gone a little bit wide there. Managed to block off Gary though. You can see Gary, Gary was trying to get the power down a bit earlier than that. Had to feather the throttle. Oh, here we go. Gary nearly nudges the back of that Datsun. Slightest little nudge in these conditions, it will send someone spinning. Very, very tricky conditions. Proper deluge of rain. Gary still can't find a way. There we go. Find a way. As you can see, Duncan's just getting the power down so much smoother than even Gary. And Gary's still got, he's now got the Mustang of Berserker following him. We know Berserker's strong in this braking zone. Let's see how much time he can gain coming up here into the bus stop chicane. And stops it very well. There we go. Gary's gone wide. Just allowed Berserker to catch right back up. Berserker's trying to nip up the inside. Can he get the power of that Mustang down quicker than the Nitzy? He can. Oh, Subaru, I should say. There we go. So Berserker's regained second place. Oh, Gary cuts out the inside. Berserker and Gary rubbing paint at the exit of turn one, but this time it's Gary in the Subaru gets the power down quicker than Berserker. Mustang really struggling to get the power down. Oh, this could be tricky coming up to Eau Rouge. They all managed. Oh, Gary's gone right off there. Surely that's going to give him a penalty. Looked like Gary had all four wheels. Yep, there you go. Gary's had all four wheels off Eau Rouge. Desperately trying to keep out in front of the Mustang, but here comes the Mustang's power now. Looking to go up the inside of Gary at the top of the hill. No, Berserker thinks better of it. In the meantime, Duncan still... Oh, looks like Berserker might pick up a penalty there as well. He went all four wheels slightly off. In the meantime, we've got these three squabbling up front, which I've got a feeling are slightly slowing each other up. And then Mark here, cruising around in fourth, is actually doing really well. He's got ahead of the main group. Mickey moving fifth place. Great drive from Mickey, probably the best drive he's had all season. He's within touching distance of a podium position still at the moment, and we're approaching halfway. The Surfers in sixth, hasn't really moved up the field from the others yet. Roadrunners up to seventh. Welly Bob's obviously said something go drastically wrong to drop back to eighth. He was about sixth place. So that's just giving Roadrunner another position up the field. Right, so let's go back up front. Where the main, all these boys are squabbling. Oh, so dear. So what we missed that. So somehow Fast JMS lost first place. Oh, Duncan just got a bit too wide there. It's just allowed. Here we go. Here comes Gary, sticking it up the inside of Fast JMS. Oh, these boys squabbling now. Proper squabbling in the rain. This Berserker boys joined the party. The top three having a great time up front despite the conditions. Very exciting, close racing. But Gary's going to have a penalty. So if the Duncan and Berserker can stick closely to Gary with a half-second penalty, hopefully they get both of them past. We're going board with Fast JMS to see if that half-second... Oh, Gary's put out a bit of a gap though. You can see that Gary's got the power down really well. Gary's just serving his penalty now. But it was a big enough lead, was it, to keep him out in front of Duncan? It was. Where's Duncan? No, yep, Gary's... That half-second penalty didn't cost Gary anything in the end. Here we go, Berserker boys now. Oh, Berserker boys just picked up a penalty just at the time when he needed not to. We know he's good into this corner. Backs out of it though as Gary and Duncan get a little bit wide. And Mark's starting to catch up, sorry, on this group. Here we go on board with Duncan in second place. Berserker still really close, thinking about going up the inside at turn one. Oh, we might have got camera going the wrong way. There we go. Oh, it's Gary's gone wide and Duncan. Oh no, disaster! What happened there? Let's go on board with Berserker. Coming up to this corner, turn one. Gary goes wide. Duncan gets underneath. Spins it up, but Berserker just had nowhere to go. So just gave Duncan a little bit of a nudge. So Duncan's regathering, so Berserker's hanging on. There's Berserker's trying to do the right thing. Waiting for Duncan to get past. A little nudge there from Berserker. Put Duncan into the barrier, so Berserker's lost 2 places now, which has left Gary out on his own now in first place. Blackie's now up to second, but Blackie's got Mickey Moo with him all over the back end of that Corvette, so Mickey's up to third. He's challenging for second place. Great drive here from Mickey. So Fast JMS is regathered now. He's in fourth. Berserker with the penalties now in fifth. I have to be honest, at this point in the race, I was just like, oh, you're joking. You know, I'm tried so hard. Everything's gone so well. I'm now back to fifth, and look back, and I'm basically, this is the minimum for me. I need to be 2 places in front of Roadrunner, and I can see Roadrunner there in 7th place. My heart sank a little bit there. I didn't think I needed to stop for Duncan, because Duncan was spinning all by himself. and I didn't really exactly punt him off, but I thought I need to make sure I don't get done for a post-race penalty. I need to stop. Didn't want to stop. I didn't think it was, because I didn't think I caused the accident. I just caught Duncan in the middle of it. But hey ho, I did what I did. Waited for Duncan. Oh! It rattled me a little bit, to be honest. Anyway, in the meantime, let's go on board with Gary, who's up front now. Where's Mark? So Gary's got a bit of a gap now between himself. Look at the map there at the top right. Gary's definitely got breathing room between himself and Blackie. Here comes Gary through this very fast left-hand kink up to the bus stop chicane. Braking for it now. And where's Blackie? Blackie's here coming around that left-hand kink. He's bringing Mickey Moo with him. Mickey Moo's desperately trying to find a way past Blackie into the bus stop chicane. Mark defends it inside. Great driving there. Oh, Duncan gets it slightly wrong. Berserker's desperately trying to get the power down. Mark's blocking Mickey to try and make Mickey go around the outside, but Mickey's got up to second place. This is the drive of the season for Mickey. He can keep it together. Mickey goes around the outside, and he does. He's going to make it stick. Mickey's got through up to second place. What a great drive from Mickey. He's got the right set of tyres. Got the same amount of fuel as everyone. This is good position. Mickey's having a fantastic race as he comes up through Eau Rouge at the top of the hill now. You can see there's a whole gaggle of drivers all closing in on third place though. Best sounding car in the game, the GT3 Ferrari. I love it. There you go. Well, Black is still in third, but you can see Duncan's caught right back up to this group. You can see second place just up the road, and you can see Berserker still within a shout in fifth place. It's all very tense up front, I have to say. I do remember this part of the race. I remember this part of the race, just wanted to get in amongst them. Just need to get in amongst them, but I keep struggling for grip a little bit. And I remember right about here, I saw the headlights of Surfer back here in sixth place. And what I didn't realise at the time, if you look at my fuel, it was around about now I started to think about fuel saving. And I was pondering whether I'd had enough fuel in the tank to get me through the last 25 minutes. I thought something was going on there. But as you can see, Surfer has got more in the tank literally left than I have. But Roadrunner's on about the same amount of fuel as I am at this point. But Roadrunner's slowly but surely catching up through the field, making his way through the field. Weddy Bob's promising start is now back to 8th on his own. Ricky's on his own in 9th. Dennis is on his own in 10th. Shaggy's all the way back here in 11th place. Struggling with the conditions. In the meantime, 35 minutes gone. Gary now coming up to turn 1. Goes very wide. The race is in his hands at the moment. Mickey Moo has now got a bit of a gap between himself and Mark, so Mickey Moo is in a comfortable second position. But Berserker's got past JMS. Where did that happen? Oh, it's into this corner. It's like a flashing light just to let him know that he's there. We know Berserker's great in braking into that corner. He's made it stick to gain back another pace as Mark goes a bit squirrely in front, but Berserker can't just get the power down on that Mustang quick enough, certainly in second and third gears compared to the other cars. Here we go now. We're on board with Berserker. He's bringing Fast JMS with him. Let's go on board with Blackie, who's on fumes as well. So Blackie's going to have to pit next lap. Eases off through Eau Rouge. Glorious sights coming up over top of Eau Rouge with those lights in the rain. We know the Mustang's strong. Certainly through 5th and 6th gears. Here it comes. Here comes the Mustang. Berserker's thinking about regaining 3rd place. Can he make it stick? No, he's still back. Oh, he's side by side with Mark. Little nudge, but he takes it. So Berserker in the Mustang gets 3rd place back. Now he's setting his sights on Mickey Moo. Great move there from Berserker up the Kemmel straight. Goes a little bit wide. Coming down the hill to his left. Top 3 battle. These guys battling for, really hard in certainly in this weather. Looking at the map there at the top right, see how far Surf is. There's Surf, you can see the boys in front. So Surf is gaining slowly. Roadrunner. Can see Surfer up front. Wellybob's on his own, Ricky's on his own, Think is on his own, Shaggy's on his own. So really the only big battle at the moment is the group that we were just with. Gary still got over a quarter of a tank to go with 37 minutes. We've got about 22 minutes to go, and Gary's got just over a quarter of a tank. Mickey Moo's got just over a quarter of a tank as well in 2nd place. Berserker's got just over a quarter of a tank in 3rd place. Still, if the race finished now, the championship would be Berserker's. Just needs to hold it together, does Berserker. Blackie here in 4th place, Fast JMS in 5th. This is where the main battle is definitely at the moment. These boys have been squabbling for positions all race long as Mark dives into the pits. So Fast JMS is now back up into 4th. Blackie comes into the pits. Surfer's coming around and Roadrunner's catching Surf, it looks like. Ever so slightly. There we go. So 20 minutes to go. 20 minutes for the end of the championship. Roadrunner. 21 minutes to go, I should say. Roadrunner knows his position he's in. He's got to be wondering if he's made the right choice. You can see that he's in 6th place. His back is in the pits. You can see the Berserker's up there in 3rd place. But what I've also noticed, 20 minutes to go, I thought I saw blue skies a minute ago. Yep, there we go. The sky's gone a little bit lighter. Does this mean the rain is going to soon... It looks like snow at that point. Does it mean the rain is going to start to ease off? Certainly not at this point. The track, as you see at the top of the hill, it's still pretty saturated, definitely saturated. Let's go back up to the race leader, Gary. So where is it? Yeah, look at that. You've got blue skies there. Because even though the track is saturated into wet conditions back down here at this part of the circuit, down towards the lower end of the track, as Gary comes through the S's. Gary's down to a quarter of a tank now. 20 minutes to go. Might be hard push for him to keep that car on track for 20 minutes with a quarter of a tank. Mickey Moo, driver of the season for him, is in 2nd, looking strong. He's in the same position though. He's got a quarter of a tank left. Berserker's got a quarter of a tank left in 3rd. He's now got a bit of breathing room between himself and Fast JMS. It looks like felt like the Berserker and Fast JMS have been side by side or nose to tail for the entire race. Surfer's up to 5th. I thought I heard Roadrunner then. But anyway, so at the meantime, I'm just going to stop here for a quick drinks break while we watch Surfer go through on a lap. Right then, we are back. So, looks like Surfer. Double check something, if you just bear with me a second. Yep, all's good. So, 43 minutes gone, 17 minutes of the season to go. If it finished now, Berserker would still be champion. He's in 3rd place. Struggling with that Mustang still. Trying to keep it on track. But at the moment, as the race stands, Gary's doing ever so well out here in 1st place. A really tough races in the wet, such tricky conditions. I've said it many times already today. But the concentration levels are really, really high. But you can see there on the map there at the top right, Gary's got a nice gap between himself in 1st place. And there's Mickey Moo, driver of the season for him, 44 minutes into the race, and Mickey Moo's in 2nd place. Not a million miles away from 1st. Having a superb race is Mickey. Showing his class in the wet. And there's the Berserker's not too far behind that either, in 3rd place. Fast JMS here in 4th. Surfer in 5th. And where's Roadrunner? Roadrunner's just coming around now as well. He's in 6th place. You can see the top 5 all fairly close together. The Weddy Bob in 7th. The Blackie who's dropped out this because I think he's got his fueling wrong somewhere. Because he was up there in 2nd place at one point. He's just picked up another penalty. Now Blackie's obviously got enough fuel to get to the end. He's got half a tank. Anyone around about half a tank now has definitely got enough fuel. Shaggy's got way too much there. So it's 15 minutes to go. I'm not sure Gary's got enough. He's now got an 1/8 of a tank left. Definitely going to have to pit for Gary. Same for Mickey Moo. It looks like he's let around about an 1/8 of a tank. So is Berserker. So it looks like Berserker, top 1, 2, 3, will have to pit one way or another. Fast JMS is definitely going to have to as well. Surfer though hasn't. Oh, Surfer might be playing a blinder here. It's got over a 1/4 of a tank. It's got about 1/3 of a tank left with 15 minutes to go. Roadrunner's got a 1/4 of a tank. Oh, it's going to be touch and go for Roadrunner though. Roadrunner's in that grey area just as he's nearly getting it wrong as well. I thought he was going to go a bit too wide and deep then. So let's see. Look, the rain. Look at the track now. It's gone down. It's going down. Yep, definitely blue skies. Look at that, blue skies. So the weather is starting to ease off. Gary didn't have his windscreen wipers on anyway. But let's go back to Mickey. Yeah, he's still got his windscreen wipers on. You can see the track as we're now down into like what was the wettest part. It's just starting to, yeah, this is definitely drying out. Off goes the windscreen wipers. There we go. It stopped raining. Oh, 14 minutes to go. And the rain has stopped. Right, so what's another tactical decision for the boys to make. Well, Gary's going to have to pit. He's not pitting this lap, but he's definitely going to have to pit. As the track's drying out now, fast, there's no rain. There's Mickey Moo in second. Berserker is in third. He's going to have to pit. And he's coming in now. Berserker's coming in already. Oh! This is a... What's Berserker? It looks like he's got wet tyres, or intermediates there. No, wet tyres there. So Berserker's coming in now. Where's Roadrunner? Here comes Road. You can see the track's drying out. You can see the track's already got a line there. And Roadrunner's staying out on wet tyres. So let's go back up front to Gary. Gary, the race leader. Where is he on the circuit? He's still quite a long way to go. But yeah, look at that. The dry line is certainly most appeared. Berserker's putting fuel in. You can see that at the top left. He's now Berserker's also now behind Roadrunner for the first time in the race with 12 minutes to go. So here we go. Gary is on fumes. Mickey's on fumes. Fast JMS is on fumes. So these boys will be coming into pit. Surfer's caught up into fourth place. He's doing all right. The Surfer with the fuel. Roadrunner's fairly close behind. He's done very well on his fuel. Weddy Bob here in sixth place. Blackie in seventh. Here he comes, Berserker on racing mediums. He's on slick tyres. Oh, has he done the right thing as Berserker? This is brave. This is very brave from Berserker to be out on slick tyres in these conditions. You can see it's still not quite dry enough to be on slick tyres, but he's making a move for it. Where is he on the map? He's coming up now. He's at the top of the hill. Being very gingerly. I have to be honest, chaps. I had a feeling the race was going to end with a track like this, and I actually practiced the final gold license where you have to drive the Porsche around Spa in conditions just like this. I felt confident that I could do it. I could race on slicks around here, but we shall see how it pans out for me very shortly as Gary, the race leader, is coming into the pits. Berserker's still out on slicks. Where is he on the track? Oh, it's a little bit of a puddle there, and that's all it takes. That's all it takes. Berserker's gone through the kitty litter once, but let's go back up front to see where Gary... He's not into the pits yet. Surfer has gone through, so Surfer's not going to have to pit. He's on dry liner racing dry track with wet tyres. Coming down the start-finish straight now. Gary's into the pits. What's he going to... Is he going to change tyres? He's fueled up and he's gone onto, or has he stayed on? What tyres is Gary on? We need to find out as soon as he comes out here. He's on racing mediums as well, so Gary's gone on to slick tyres. Gary's on slick tyres. Oh, this is really confusing now. As Gary comes out of the pits, there comes Gary. There's Gary comes out of the pits. Oh, he's all over the place as well. What's Mickey Moo? Mickey Moo's come out on racing mediums as well. So all the boys have gone on to racing medium. So where's Berserker? Berserker's still too far off. Oh no, Berserker's losing time, hand over fist. And I believe, and there we go, I've just done it again. This is the moment where I lost the race. This is the moment where I lost the championship. Crashing with style. I have to be honest, that spin was the moment I thought it's over. 10 minutes to go. I needed to every second I could to catch up in the end. I could see all you boys pitted up in front, and I was still about 20 seconds behind where I needed to be at this point. That was the moment I thought it's over. The dream is gone. But I kept fighting to the end, and I was also curious to see how the boys who obviously didn't change their tyres would get on with wets, because the other thing I was concerned about, and I didn't really know how it was going to work, was how much tyre wear running wets on dry track would cost you. But in the meantime, Surfer, who maybe tactically got it wrong at the beginning, has got it tactically right for the rest of the race. He's got 9 minutes to go, possibly another 3 after that, depending on when he finishes the lap. He's out in first place, seemingly with the race in the bag. At the moment, Roadrunner in second place. Get on wet tyres. Hasn't got quite as much fuel as Gary in front, and is actually dangerously low for 10 minutes to go. Sorry, not Gary, Surfer in front. Welly Bob is on wet tyres as well, but here comes Gary. Oh, there goes Gary! Gary, just like Berserker, suffering on those racing mediums at the moment. Slight little issue, and that's what happens. Mark's in fifth. Mickey Moo was doing so well. He's on racing mediums as well. Second place, and off he goes again. Oh, the race is unfolding for Mickey as well. Oh, disaster for Mickey. He was doing so well. With, what was it, 12 minutes of the season to go. He was in second place, having the race of his season. And he's now back in 7th place. Where's Berserker? Still struggling with the conditions as Berserker. You see, he backs off big time then. Track just wasn't drying out quick enough. 7 minutes to go. So where is Roadrunner on the circuit? Roadrunner is just coming up to Eau Rouge. Let's Welly Bob through. And where's Berserker? Berserker is... He hasn't even got to the... He's at the bus stop chicane. Still a long way off. That's a good 40 seconds to make up in 7 minutes. And let's see, what kind of lap times is Berserker doing? 2:35s. Then again, he has crashed a couple of times, whereas the boys up front are doing 2:38, 2:40s on those wet tyres. Let's see what the Surfer's doing. 2:34 on wet tyres. Welly Bob, 2:36. On wet tyres, 2:35, 2:36, and Welly's in second. Roadrunner slower pace, 2:38 to 2:43s. Oh, someone's off in front. Who was that? Someone's off. That's Shaggy's off from 11th place, trying to keep out of the way. There we go. Welly Bob's through. Roadrunner's through. Gary on these racing mediums. So Gary at 3:17. Gary is catching the cars up in front. You have to say though, there's one thing about catching though in racing mediums, but with the track the way it is, it means he's going to have to go onto the wet stuff to find a way past as well, which would make it even more interesting. Oh, Gary's looking up the inside here. Roadrunner here into 3rd place. Roadrunner struggling. Gary, let's go on board with Gary. Roadrunner's trying to get every bit of wet track he can to keep those tyres cool. There you go. Roadrunner got his left indicator on there. Is he letting Gary through? Trying not to fight it. So Gary's got nowhere to pass. Anyway, Gary's got to pass. Gary's the first of the slick tyre drivers. Anyway, he's got to pass. He's going to be on a wet bit of road. Just about keeps up the inside there. Oh, Gary gets through the third place. It's fast JMS. Fast JMS has now got past Blackie, who's still on wet tyres. Blackie stayed out on wet tyres. Fast JMS. So the race meeting boys are just starting to benefit from having these tyres, but it's only 5 minutes to go. Oh, Berserker's. Oh dear, what's happened to Berserker? He's damaged it. This is me just pushing far too hard. I knew I had to push. There we go, top crashing, running out of talent fast. Front and rear end completely gone. I knew I had to push. I knew I had to do everything I could to try and catch up. It just wasn't happening. Pushing too hard. So Surfer is on fumes already. We've still got 5 minutes to go. Surfer is on fumes. Well, he's not on fumes per se, but his red light is flashing. Welly Bob's now in a. Where's Surfer? Oh, Surfer's miles up the road from Welly. Surfer's got a huge lead. He's just coming around to the long looping, coming back on yourself loop. I can't remember what it's called. And Welly Bob's still just coming at the top of the Kemmel Straight, but he's also got Gary. Nope, someone's come off. Who's come off? It's not Welly. It's not Gary. Someone was off at the top of the Kemmel Straight. Oh, I think it's Dinky. There we go. Gary is certainly moving quickly up the field, so he looks like he's going to get second place now. Welly Bob's putting that car right in the racing line where Gary needs to be. Is Gary going to try and stick up the inside? Oh, that's brave. So Gary's up to second place. Where's Roadrunner? So Roadrunner still with his indicator goes in fourth place. He's been on fumes for a long time. Where's Fast JMS? He's just gone wide as well. He's going to hit the barrier. There we go. Good crashing from Duncan as well. Where's Blackie? There's Blackie on wet still there. Fast running sixth. Berserker's up to seventh now, but he's still miles off the pace. Doing 2:35s after a lot of crashing. 3 minutes to go. Just starting to get to grips with the circuit. So there's Berserker looking on the map at the top right. So where is Roadrunner? Good. Oh, he's a good 30 seconds still up the road, coming up to the bus stop chicane. 2 minutes to go. Oh, he's got Dennis behind. There's Blackie in fifth, Fast JMS in sixth. Berserker still hasn't got. Oh, he's just down on the start finish straight. Sorry, the back straight. Sorry, before we even get to the bus stop chicane. So anyway, let's go back up to the race up front because we've got Surfer on wet tyres, on fumes. He's been on really tiny bit of fumes. He's sipping petrol out of that tank at the moment. Where's Welly Bob in second? Oh, he was still a long way off though. It's more of a case as this Surfer got enough fuel to get to the end. And what's happened to Gary? Gary's binned it. Let's see what happened to Gary, because Gary was second and charging hard. 7. Oh, Gary's. Oh, he didn't do too badly actually. Just bins it there. Just allowed Welly Bob to get back up into second place. But we saw just a second ago, Gary had front and rear damage, so he's obviously got it wrong twice. Oh, you can see he's on the wet stuff there. The inside wheel's just hitting a bit of wet patch. Oh, it's going to be around here. It's going to be somewhere around here, surely. No. Gary's still got a chance of getting second place, with big chances, because Welly Bob's on wet tyres. Gary's on racing mediums, so where does he lose it? As Welly Bob pulls over to go onto the wet track, Gary is sticking to that racing line as much as he can on those slick tyres. Oh, he's on the wet stuff now. He's in trouble now. You can see it's still really, really wet off this side of the track there, but no, keeps it going together there, but he's on a bit of wet stuff now, and that's it. Here he goes. He bent. Wow, one hit, front and rear damage. That's impressive, Gary. Oh, I thought he lost another place. We just saw Roadrunner go through there. Well, so where's Roadrunner? There's Roadrunner now. Just gone past Eau Rouge. Where's Berserker? At the bottom of the hill, coming around gingerly. It's just on a 225. He's just not 10 seconds off the. If only he'd been able to do 225s through the entire time he put those second set of mediums on, because let's have a look, that would have been 13 seconds quicker per lap than Roadrunner up here. He's on doing 238s. In the meantime, we got Surfer now with 30 seconds of the season to go. At the bottom of the racetrack, he must be. Look at those wet tyres. See, that's the wet tyre. The wet tyres have just gone to nubs already. In the last 10 minutes, they've been scrubbed off all of their wear. So Surfer's desperately hoping he's got enough fuel in that car to get him home. Welly Bob's been up and down all over the place, but he looks like he could finish in second place after all of that. I think that would be the drive of the season for Welly as well, actually. But it looks like Surfer now. The hour's gone. We are coming up to the final corners now. Surfer, has he got enough fuel? It's nearly off red, but it looks like he's going to win. He's got to have enough to get it over the line. Surfer wins a fantastic race. Well done, Evan. Great driving, mate. For first place. Welly Bob is going to finish in second place and having the drive of his season. Coming up to the bus stop chicane. On his own, he's got a big gap between himself and Roadrunner, who's in third, but a great drive there from Welly. Welly, well done, Kevin. Well done, mate. Second place. Gary's got in front. Oh, what happened there? So here comes Gary, catching Roadrunner hand over fist. Oh, it's got to be brave. You've got to find a spot where there's no water. Oh, he's on a bit there. He's on a bit. Brave move from Gary. Gary's going to snatch third place. He's on fumes though. Gary's going to snatch third place, but your champion for the first inaugural season of MRC GT3 World Series is Roadrunner. Well done, mate. Well done, Kev. Mike, well done, mate. Great driving. Fast JMS finishes in 5th. Blackie on fumes and Nubs is in 6th. Berserkers in 7th. Couldn't get it done. Too many mistakes. Mickey Moo was having the race of his season, but just got it wrong as well, but it finishes in 8th place for him. Ricky was in 9th. Dennis is in 10th. Here comes Shaggy coming around now for 11th place in the ironically sponsored Fred Olsen's Stella Sea Link line. You know what I mean? Very livery for the last few corners of the season. Anyway, well done, Mike. Great racing with you and all the other chaps this season. Been a great season. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Well-deserved championship as well, Mike. Top racing, everyone, and I hope to see you again soon for next season. Thank you very much. See you later, everyone. Have fun. See you later. Bye.